pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
A little bit
Follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HVRL Maverick Cup Series, live from the Daytona International Speedway. Rejoice! It is once again Maverick Night in America here on JTN. So glad you joined us here this evening. As always, I'm your host, Joe Twansky. Joining me up here in the booth tonight, you know him, you love him. He's my co-hostess with the mostest, one Mr. Ricky Collette. Ricky, welcome back to the World Center of Racing.
Yo, it's great to be back. It's finally time. I hope everyone's ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It is indeed a Maverick Night in America. Put the kids to bed, put the dog out in the yard, put grandma in the garage. We're going to be racing at Daytona tonight, and you don't want anyone bugging you here as we take you for a full 125 laps at this 2.5-mile super speedway live on JTN.
Put grandma in the garage, you say?
Yeah, put grandma in the garage.
All right, just wanted to make sure I heard you right. This, of course, is your AutoSim 2 race preview. Remember, AutoSim 2, now available on Steam for $9.99. We're going to go for 125 laps tonight around this Daytona International Speedway. A modified caution rule here tonight, where cautions are self-called, or self-policing, as we saw in the last few weeks of the Maverick Cup Series 1 year ago, a few months ago when the season ended, at least back in November. Again, 125 laps, 70 degrees, it's clear, it's fixed setup for all you folks, all you NR 2003 nerds that want to know about that. But again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here to JTN tonight. Going to have some great racing action on tap for you, as we always do on Tuesdays with the Maverick Cup Series. Todd Wilson, Roger Nebelsick. Todd Wilson now in number 18 this season.
Yo, I don't think that's nice to be calling people nerds.
I said it in a loving way. I'm a nerd. I was called a... Ricky, I quite literally went to the nerd school in high school.
Nerd high school?
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad 80s movie.
Probably was.
Probably was. Someone get on that. Someone check the old... Someone get our fact checker on that. Gonna be a fun one here, though, tonight, Joe. 125 laps. We were talking about this right before during the production meeting here. 2 times wear. So there's going to be a lot of pit stops here tonight. I think green flag pit stops are going to be a premium here. What do you think? I would
have to agree with you, Ricky. I mean, we see it time and time again on these super speedways. The drivers that are able to execute down on the pit lane, especially getting onto pit lane, always are the ones that kind of cycle through to a victory. So it's another interesting fact about tonight's race. We're working practice right now, waiting to switch over to qualifying, but it's another interesting part of this race, and definitely going to be something that we are going to be watching up here in the booth this evening.
Be interesting to watch, and different Daytona that we've used tonight compared to in the past, right?
Yes, this is, for the folks out there, this is the FSE Daytona 2014 day. Xavier Brown in the 30
grandstand seats back. I think they were running the original one, weren't they?
They were running something. I think they were running something different 1 year ago.
Yeah. So it'll be a little bit, be interesting to see what the prevailing opinion is in terms of lines. I don't know if they've messed with grips at all, or if this is just going whatever came out of the box, but we'll kind of get an idea as these guys start racing in a pack during the race. A lot of guys right now focusing on one-car runs, two-car groupings. So a lot of unknowns on this. A lot of knowns. A lot of new faces. A lot of returning faces. But it's Daytona. Everything's fresh. Everything's new, and I think it's gonna be a fun night.
It's going to be a great night of racing. And again, we're so glad you joined us here on JTN. See Keith Hughes in chat. Keith, of course, defending race winner, not going to be out here this evening. But glad to see Keith in chat. Garland Oaks cheering on Benjamin Snyder. Tristan, Tim, and of course our very own Joseph Weaver all in chat already here tonight. Folks, if you haven't already, say hello. Always like to get the opportunity to talk with you here in pre-race. RJ Bishop in chat. RJ out there in the 42 this evening. You saw that, I believe, Bud Light, number 42. Weird to see Kroger and Target on a car together.
Kroget.
All right.
Or Target. Is Target really intimidated by Kroger, Joe? I don't think they are. I think they can. I think
now that they're trying to get into
learn
groceries
to
a little bit
coexist in
more.
peace.
I think now
Well, I
that
guess they can't because they both are grocery stores.
that folks,
Well, I mean-
I see Tristan already making the comment about the Keith. I wish. I see Tristan making the comment already. Let's have a JTN drinking game, Ricky. Let's call it. Anytime Ricky repeats something that I said 2 seconds ago, you take a drink of your favorite beverage of choice. Mine is water, of course.
Mine is spit.
I already have 2 Ricky moments from tonight's broadcast. This is amazing.
that one's too easy. We can't count that one because there are better ones.
No, I'm counting. I wrote down the time.
Not what I
codes.
said to get a response. I was just waiting.
It's over.
I was just waiting, but make sure to drink responsibly. I don't think that 42 car says it, but I think dilly dilly is Latin for drink responsibly. I'm not really sure.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure.
speak Italian.
Xavier Brown in chat too, getting cheered on from Ben. Ben J in chat. Xavier's sponsor wants the car to be shown. Okay, well we were showing the car.
To be shown.
Here's the car.
Well, we can oblige by that.
We're not Fox.
Ah, fun.
Spicy. There's the 30 car, teal and
Yo,
purple.
You're talking a big game. All of our cameras are basically controlled by robots.
Yeah. So
You're judging. We don't
Bristol.
have the human element.
I mean, Bristol does everything, right?
The machines will overtake us.
That's a real concern for some folks.
Yeah, people have been really intimidated ever since the fax machine came out.
Random X Darkness, hashtag Team Field Filler. Oh boy. Jess Hanna in the number 16. Pizza Hut Ford there to the outside of RJ Bishop in the 42. I don't want to make Bristol sick, necessarily.
Oh yeah, Bristol gets a treat.
That'd be a lot of
That
treats for
is
Bristol
how
this late
you
at
get
night.
dog to throw up.
Like three treats would be too many, honestly.
Yeah. Two's got to be like extenuating circumstances. He's got to be a really good boy for 2.
Yeah. And
At least how I found it.
still waiting for qualifying to begin here. We're on about, I don't know, 10 minutes behind, it looks like.
Well, let's figure out how we're doing the rule of this drinking game.
A caution equals a drink. That's what Tristan said.
Yeah, Tristan's
say-
the unofficial games master.
I
To set
say,
rules.
I say you take a drink every time there's a caution, anytime Ricky says something that you find silly. Oh, a caution plus ARCA brakes equals finish drink.
Ooh, oh, that's a rough one.
Now, Ricky, what does ARCA brakes mean?
Uh,
For the fans at home.
either good brakes at the wrong time or bad brakes at a
Bad
even
time.
wronger time.
The worst time.
Yeah. I almost actually said bad brakes at a good time, which wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
Well, bad brakes at a good time to use them.
Good brakes at a bad time for brakes, and bad brakes at a good time for brakes. That's basically what ARCA brakes are. The ARCA paradox, I believe, is what they call it.
Every time Joe says a Ricky, there'd be a couple moments you would be pretty dizzy. From last year, if that were the case. Irvin Vargas in the number 70. There you see 75 just ahead of Sean Dotson. Bright blue Chevrolet there. Toyota working together. A couple drivers to watch that we were told about. We talked about Jess Hanna, one of the Mondays to Thunder admins in the number 16. Let's see if Jess is still out there on track. No, he is not. But definitely a driver to watch out for. 18 of Todd Wilson is another one. Of course, previous champ. No, he's always going to be a threat here. And Mark Snyder in the number 27, the only driver to have actual laps on this Daytona International Speedway. And if Mark were able to win, he would become the oldest winner in the Maverick Cup Series. Those are our drivers to watch. Courtesy of HVRL. And finally, chug for as long as it takes Bristol to fetch a replay. Oh, man. Are we qualifying? We're qualifying. You ready to qualify, Ricky?
I am ready to qualify, Joe. Are you ready to qualify? Well, not really.
We don't qualify,
but
I'm ready for these drivers to qualify.
We're not racing. We don't qualify.
Right.
We don't qualify for anything. I don't even think I could qualify for a loan. Haha.
You did for a college one.
Yeah.
And predatory loan schemes. Well, while drivers are out there and there's no cars on track, let's see. Keith asks, will real-life laps translate tonight? I don't know, Keith. That's something we're going to be watching for, right, Ricky?
Yeah.
We're going to be watching for that. We're gonna see. If anyone's got any questions or any thoughts that they want to put in chat, those are more than welcome right now, as we got no cars on track. Again, hope everyone's having a great night. Before we do that, though, let's get a word from our friends with AutoSim 2. Have you ever wanted to manage your own racing team? Or what if you could go back in time to see if a particular season could have finished differently? Well, folks, have no fear, because AutoSim 2 is here. With fully customizable roster files, you can create your own world or try to recreate the past. Heck, you could even try to predict the future through AutoSim 2's Sim mode. Don't like the passive approach? Well, then get more hands-on in owner mode, where you decide who drives your cars and what companies will sponsor them. Down on your luck? Well, then scout some new talent that will get you to the top. Already super successful? Try moving up the ladder or expanding to truly solidify your racing empire. However you want to play, AutoSim 2 has you covered and is now available for purchase through the Steam store for $9.99. Now go make your mark and build your legacy in AutoSim 2. And of course, AutoSim 2 now available on Steam for $9.99. Again, go check it out. It's AutoSim 2 now available on Steam for $9.99. Tim says his thoughts are go Colgate. Tim, I disagree with you. Go Michigan. Go Blue.
Wait, he's not talking about toothpaste?
No, Colgate University.
Okay. I genuinely thought he was talking about toothpaste. I thought that was a joke. I thought you guys had an inside joke that I was not aware of.
No, he just doesn't like my school because, well, we're better than his. Right now, at least, Tim. I'm not going to discount the first 20 years of my life. At least in football.
Well, you can.
Anyways. Um,
57 seconds left in qualifying, Joe.
yeah.
Gonna be going to the happy hour very shortly.
Hmm.
I'm giddy.
Happy hour, you say?
Happy hour, yeah. I'm quite happy about happy
Are you gonna
hour.
have it? Are you gonna be happy?
Yes.
Okay. What's the opposite of happiness?
Sad.
Hmm. Did we go to happy hour?
Yes.
Okay. Well, since we're in happy hour, Ricky, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
Yes, I can, Joe, for tonight's race here at Daytona for the Maverick Cup Series. We will be having a field of 21. 21? Hell yeah, 21 cars starting tonight's race. This field at Daytona, and starting on the pole at a time of 49.588 seconds, it's going to be the 051 car of Dave Jandry. Starting alongside him on the outside spot of row number 1 at a time of 49.590 seconds is going to be Mr. Zachary Hall in the 32 car. Randy Waugh in the 21 will be starting from this 3rd spot. In 4th position will be the 16 machine, going to be piloted by Jess Hanna tonight. 35 car of Mike Carroll is going to start from the 5th position. Irvin Vargas in the 70 will be starting from the 6th spot. From 7th position, it's going to be the 42 car piloted by RJ Bishop. Galviana in the 33 car will be starting from the 8th position. In 9th spot will be the 75 machine that's going to be piloted tonight by Sean Dotson. Rounding out the top 10 will be car number 018, going to be piloted by Brandon Rustin. In 11th spot will be car 12 of Dale Barnum. And the 12th spot is going to be the 28 of Brendan Whitford. 51 car Jason Dady will be starting for the 13th spot. From 14th position will be the 30 machine of Xavier Brown. Perry Bond in the 60 car will be starting for the 15th spot. And last car to take a time in qualifying tonight, rest of the field picked on random draw, will be the 22 machine of Benjamin Snyder in the 16th spot. 17th position is going to go to the 27 car of Mark Snyder. 18th position goes to the 23 machine of Roger Nebelsek. 19th spot goes to the 18 car of Mr. Todd Wilson. And the 326 car, piloted by Quentin Moore, will be starting from the 22nd spot. And rounding out the field is spot number... No, it's 20th. And then spot number 21, will be the 57 machine of James Sykes. If I got that right, Joe.
Yep, James.
I might have that wrong.
I think you're pretty much right.
But that's going to be the starting lineup here from Daytona.
Confidence.
But saying in chat, it's going to be a long run tonight here, 125 laps. So going to be interesting to see how this field kind of manages that. How much these guys divide up during those runs. We've seen this a lot, Joe, at the super speedways recently, when we've done a lot of long green flag runs that everyone really gets separated up into tiny little groups, depending on who speeds and who doesn't. So pit road entry going to be at a premium tonight. You do not want to mess that up even a little bit. Dave Sykes saying he is out, track wouldn't load, so that's going to be -1 car. You got anything, Joe?
Nope.
Uh-oh.
I was going to say James Sykes was supposed to be in the 57 from Mike Seneca tonight. Fan favorite. Nivik saying hello in chat. Hello. You talked about Roger saying 125 laps tonight. Here you see Roger in the 23. So again, just waiting for the race to start here. The HVRL Daytona 500. Didn't get a chance to talk about it, but the winner tonight going to take home a $50 prize, courtesy of sponsor Budget Customs.
$50 prize?
Yep.
Can we get it?
Do what?
Can we get it? Can we win it?
I wish.
I'll go get in a car right now.
AJ asks, when is the green flag dropping? Unsure. How many minutes we got left here in happy hour?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. We'll go get gridded up. So call it like six or 7 minutes. Been a long pre-race here tonight.
Long pre-race because it is Daytona, and you gotta have a good old pre-race for Daytona.
You're welcome, AJ.
Is what I'm going with.
That's what you're going with.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right, fair enough. As long as you stick to it.
Some cars out here, Joe. We got Chevys, we got Toyotas, we got Chevys, we got Fords, we got
Kias.
Dodges, we got Chevys.
Kias.
I was just about to say, you ruined my segue. I was gonna say we have Kias.
Whoa. Whoa.
Dang it.
Oh. Dodge.
Are you a small stand-up scooter? Because you've ruined my segue.
It didn't make any sense, Ricky.
You don't make any sense.
I know. We are losing viewers at this point.
I just saw it drop like three after I said that.
Folks, again, can't thank you enough for tuning in tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, you can drop a like on the video and subscribe. If you want to get in on the action, Maverick Cup Series is going to be live all season long here on JTN on Tuesday nights. You can go on over to their Facebook group page to learn more about how you can sign up and join the group. We have that link down in the video description below, so go check that out if you're curious to find out more about how you can participate here with the Maverick Cup Series.
These guys, RJ Bishop and Zachary Hall in the 32, practicing their pit road entry here, just to verify they got that nailed down. Good idea to be doing that at this point, just to experiment and make sure that you have everything where you need to know where your pit box is, especially after qualifying is cleared up, and you know where you're on pit road. 16 of Jess Hanna going through pit road doing 180 miles an hour.
I believe that'll be a penalty.
I don't know.
Oh, that one's kind of on the edge.
I don't know. You gotta ask the tower. I don't think that's a penalty.
Can you park your car at the start-finish line?
If you smile for the camera, yes.
What if you wave to the flagman?
Yes, because that's just manners. That's good manners.
Okay.
Two minutes here left in happy hour, I think, Joe, and I am. I'm scuttling the barrel. The barrel's empty, Joe. What do we got? He's just gonna leave me abandoned like that? You're not gonna say anything?
Sometimes, you know, it's best to just leave you be, Ricky.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't have a nice witty response for you.
I see how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I see your game. I see your tricks.
My tricks?
Your big bag of tricks.
Aviana in the 33 getting out there, getting some laps in.
A lot of guys out here are running a lot of laps for happy hour, at least. I think just trying to practice these pit stops. Hall and Bishop have kind of been working together here. I think trying to be coming back down here. I think these guys are just trying right now, or at least the 32 Hall. Nope, he is doing 182 miles an hour. Oh, he's trying to come to a stop. No, he didn't make it. That was a spirited effort, Joe.
Oh, into the wall.
It's fine.
He's fine?
He's fine.
Okay.
Wall's not there. You pretend the wall's not there, it doesn't exist.
God.
If I understand object permanence, if you believe that it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist.
I wish someone would have told Kyle Busch that. Or Dale,
Yes.
for that matter. Don't want to respond to that one.
10 seconds left in happy hour here.
Folks, I believe Ricky just muted his mic for a couple seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go, Joe. We are ready to roll here at Daytona. This is going to click over in a second.
Ready to roll. Ready to get going. Ready to see some racing action here from the high banks. The World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Speedway, live here on JTN. I'm Joe Twansky, joined by Ricky Collette in the booth. It's already been a night full of shenanigans here in the booth, and still got 125 laps of racing on deck. It'll be a great one. Ricky, I think people tune in for our banter for these. I at least like to think that, you know?
Our banter.
Our banter.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't think it's our best work.
Okay, all right. What is our best work?
That time I ate a hat.
That was a pretty good one. What was
a pretty
that?
good one.
What was that for? Like 500 subscribers?
Yeah, and that was also in a dim lit room and on my phone, so I looked like a psychopath.
No, I don't think it was the dim lit room or the phone's fault.
I would think so.
I think eating the hat might be a bigger root cause in that instant.
All right, Joe, it is time to go racing here. It is officially Maverick Night in America. Everyone gritting on pit road, getting ready for the start of tonight's race.
Get our full pace lap, parade lap in. Cody in chat saying, "Oh boy, pit stops." We wait the command to get
stops.
engines fired here in front of a sold-out crowd for the Daytona International Speedway.
Waiting on that starting command.
Waiting all day for the starting command.
I don't think that's a real song.
It isn't.
Drivers, start your engines!
Like we're missing the 42 on the initial grid. See if that's intentional or not.
Intentional or not, these guys are rolling here at Daytona. We're getting ready to get going for tonight's race. Again, Dave Jandry. I'm going to be doing that all night, trying to make sure I'm not pronouncing that weird. 051 car starting off the pole here with Zachary all to his outside. Gonna be interesting to see if there's any friendships up here. If Jess Hanna's going to be nice to 32 or Randy Wallace going to be nice to the 051 here, I would imagine that everyone's going to be pretty selfish early on here trying to get that track position, Joe.
I would have a similar thought, Ricky. I would have a similar thought.
Pacing around here, doing a good old 70 miles an hour. 125 laps tonight, 2 times wear again for everyone just tuning in because I saw a big jump in numbers. RJ Bishop saying he missed the grid.
Who's calling the official drunken if you got him call? Tim, what does that mean?
I think he means drink him if you got him. I don't know. I can't speak to him. So Tim needs to verify that if I'm on the right track with that, but I would imagine.
Okay.
Drink it if you got him. You know, it's like smoke him if you got him.
Right.
So RJ Bishop missed a grid, so I guess he's just going to be...
Now he'll catch back up.
He'll catch back up, probably.
Field behind our Dodge Charger pace car. Is that car going to make the hard left turn down the pit lane? Gives way to the 51. Or 051, excuse me. Of Dave Jandry. Green flag, we're underway here in the HVRL Daytona 500. And these cars get up to speed coming down the back straightaway, Ricky. Some jostling back there. Looks like issues with the 33 of Viana. Blinking in
Viana
now.
just blinking a little bit. I think some guys taking some evasive maneuvers to get on by him. Kind of snaking around here, but you see right now, not really formed up on the bottom. Randy Watt actually looking a little bit to the outside of the 051 of Jandry, who's dragging him around the middle lane right now. You can see that kind of split everyone up a little bit more. Zach Hall's going to get to the inside of 75 and Dotson. Dotson side by side with that 32 machine, kind of stuck up on that outside. We'll see if anyone decides to go with him. But no one really organized on that bottom. A lot of scattering.
A lot of scattering indeed. Saw Benjamin Snyder into the wall in turn 3 on that opening lap, but now we're back single file here at the front of the field. A couple cars again having some internet issues. They're a little blinky side to side. Something to watch throughout the night. Todd Wilson getting out of line further on back, ducks back in, and we're still single file here from Daytona. It's a long race too, so you're just riding at this point, right?
Riding a little bit. You're trying to get somewhere good that you want. You want to be primed up for that first round of pit stops. It's just a matter of figuring out where that position is going to be. Some people would want to be up front. Some people are going to want to be in the back. I've always found I like to be in the back when you're kind of gambling with these pit stops, at least for the first one, because when the whole field comes down, that's usually when there's a big accident. So
contact with the 12 and 75.
Into the outside wall, he hangs onto it, but he's glued up there as everyone goes rolling on by him on the bottom. That's definitely going to hurt that 75 machine. Big scatter here. The 18 off on the apron. Todd Wilson coming back up on track. Joe, these cars do not look like they're handling well.
Yeah, a lot of checkups here throughout this lead draft. So you're going to be 3 wide for a second. Maybe the 12 just put the 33 on the apron, or maybe not. Hard to tell from that camera. The 60
two
and
cars
the
together, 33 into the 60 of Perry Bond. That's probably going to be a yellow right there, Joe.
I would believe so. That's contact. Jason Dady in the grass here. And these drivers, if they're racing back, it looks like. Jandry gets back to line with the lead. Or maybe we're staying green?
I guess so, Joe. I haven't seen anyone slow down yet.
All right, well, you tell. We're gonna get a replay of what happened then.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out frontward here if you want to just go ahead and give them the old cliff notes.
Bristol fetching our replay for the first time here tonight. See the 60 of Perry Bond, some issues. Talked about it, a couple cars having some internet spikes. Like that's what happens there with the 60. It's Maverick Night in America. That's right, John. Go buy a t-shirt. Why don't you? Support us here on JTN. Oh, look at it. So no caution for this incident. We trudge on.
Yeah, apparently we're going to keep going.
Interesting.
But we'll keep rolling here. Maverick Night in America, indeed. As these guys are running around 6 of 125 laps tonight. Dave Jandry still leading here. Randy Watt in second. 35 car Carroll Justana is in fourth. Carroll's in third. Sorry, I almost didn't say where Carroll was. Irvin Vargas in the 70 car. That's a nice looking Toyota there in that 5th position.
Irvin Vargas.
30 people in chat. Want to say thanks for everyone tuning in right now. Beginning of a fun race here tonight. Gonna be a long one, so make sure to stay tuned in. Make sure to keep your eyes glued to the screen. You don't want to miss a second of the action.
You never know what's going to happen on Maverick Night in America.
You never know what's gonna happen. Joe, it seems like a lot of these guys aren't really handling that great. It seems like the cars aren't. You know what I'm getting at. We run at Daytona sometimes. These guys are like glued to each other. This one, it definitely seems like people are kind of getting a little bit, not loosey-goosey, but getting a little squirrely when the car unloads coming off the turn. And it doesn't seem like everyone can kind of keep it totally down there, and I think that's making for an interesting dynamic here. A little bit of an old-school flair, if you will, that you can kind of work over the guy in front of you some. You see Randy Waugh kind of experimenting with this, the 051 of Jandry, but Jandry can't really keep a solid line down on the bottom. It seems like he has to kind of venture up to that middle lane. See a little further back though, 28 of Whitford getting to the outside of the 30 machine. Xavier Brown gonna try it alone up top to see if anyone goes with him. See Zachary Hall in his 32 car has been having some warp issues here. I think he's trying to just bide his time and make sure. Hope that kind of clears up. You see the 12 of Barnum right behind him. Sorry, not Barnum. Catches the apron there, steadies it out. So, but it's very interesting, Joe. A bit of a departure from what we've seen from a lot of super speedway races where these guys kind of almost on rails are kind of going around this place. You can see the whole field kind of stayed up off the bottom there last time. And here comes Randy Waugh to the outside. The 051 to Jandry. Jandry going to shut the door, but the 36 of Carroll trying to give a push to him.
Bright colored Skittles, number 35. Of Mike Carroll. Trying to push that tide out in front.
Joe, I don't know if it's just me, but I really do. I really do like the feel of this. It definitely has. It definitely feels like a bit of like 90s plate racing in a way. As you see Randy Waugh getting to the outside of the 51 car. Like the second place has just been kind of looking for all these places to pass on the leader. He just needs really one guy to go with him, and it seems like the 51 is going to have to defend it, but it doesn't really seem like it doesn't seem like they're adhering to one spot on the track. It seems like handling means a lot right now.
See Yeezy in chat say, I wonder what it's like to be an NPC in these races. I'm gonna assume, because I don't remember seeing the name in chat. So all these are actually cars piloted by drivers in their homes, behind the wheel of their computer. They're on a computer. But, so all these drivers are out there, they're racing each other. That's why you kind of see some of these internet issues. You see like the 32, that black Toyota for their, sixth car in line. Having some of those side-by-side, little warp issues. So these are all actual people, so you can get in on the action if you really want to know what it's like. By checking out the link to the Maverick Cup Series Facebook page. We got it in the video description below.
Perry Bond came down pit road to do some damage repair on that 60 machine. Took a lot of hits on that first incident, so just gotten those dents banged out. That's definitely going to send him back a lap or two here. I think a lot of guys that were kind of caught in that scuffle are just riding around hoping that they can get some kind of caution just to regroup this back up.
And the 60 just merged right in front of the 51.
Running in a league of their own right now, not really with any other competition. So this is something that you kind of like when you're plate racing, Joe, is when the top 10 kind of separates, because then you're like, oh, wherever I finish, I get a top 10. That's pretty good points.
Ricky, you missed it. The 60 just merged right in front of the 51.
What?
I'm gonna get you a replay at home, folks.
You know, Joe, I almost said at the top of the show what the drinking game rule should have been for me missing something that's very clearly happening, but I thought that was like too big of a drink to take. I don't want to hurt anyone. Well, that's definitely an incident.
Did you call that a LePage?
I guess so. We're still under green, so
yeah.
still going here from Daytona. Gonna be coming up on the 33 car, Chow Vienna, very shortly here. These guys are these leaders, so they have to be careful and kind of manage this to make sure that everyone gets on by okay. Small grouping right now, so I don't think it will be a huge issue with them getting by Viana. Usually this gets a little dicier if it's a bigger pack. Also, Viana's pretty at speed, which helps too. Go 51 to the outside. Viana gonna stay on the bottom here. Let the guys on by. Randy Walker to give a big push to the 51 coming into the turn here. Kind of try to get him to separate from this field enough. I think that would let him reel back in. These guys get into the 33 of Chow Viana. Viana keeps it on the apron and hangs on to her. Great job. Great piece of driving by that 33 there. 28 of Whitford coming down to pit road. Probably was speeding there.
Yeah, I don't... Was that...
My guess is as good as yours.
Lost for words early on here in the first race of the Maverick Cup Series 2020.
Oh, he caught the wall there, Joe, I think. That was where it came from. He was very up the track. I think the car just lost it or something. I had to cut you off there.
No worries, Ricky. Lost for words here early on in the Maverick Cup Series. Daytona, or the HVRL Daytona 500 here. Daytona International Speedway, JTN's coverage of the Season 3 of
the 018 of Rustin. A lot of damage to the front of that car. I'm not sure what's happened with that, Joe. Stopped in turn 1. Oh, that car flipped. 23 went around too.
Oh, man.
Caution is out.
Oh, we have a caution now?
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Caution out here. Get a replay of this incident. Benjamin Snyder there to the inside of Roger Nebelsack. Drives into the left rear quarter of the 23. 018 gets the worst of it.
Yeah, very unfortunate for the 018 machine here. Of Brandon Rustin.
On board with Rustin. See Snyder make a move to the inside. So first caution of the night, third incident of the night.
Third incident of the night, first caution of the night. Interesting way to open the race, but on the bright side, this... Oh, okay. Sorry, everything blinked out for me for a second. I thought something got reset. Yeah, interesting way to start the race here tonight. The bright side, this will kind of group everyone back up, so a lot of these guys a little further back. Dotson, Mark Snyder, RJ Bishop, Whitford. They'll all kind of be able to catch the group here, and I think 42 will probably have the free pass, so this definitely is a big help for RJ Bishop, who will get back into this race, who started a lap down because he didn't have time to grid. RJ Bishop probably kind of probably making the right call on that.
Able to stay out of the problems. All leaders coming down pit lane.
Now, Joe, I'll say this, and just because you've done this before too. We both raced before in places in leagues where they're doing incident call for cautions.
Yeah, so
you gotta be like
you have to call it, and it puts admins in a weird spot.
The problem is that you kind of like, is it a caution? Is it not a caution? If it's a caution, it's a caution. Just call it. Is what I found, because usually when you set it up like this, is that everyone does it. I definitely have done it before, where it's like your inhibitions are just like, do I want to call a caution? Is this something that warrants a caution? Is someone going to get mad if I call one? Like, you just can't think about it. You just got to be like, I think that's a caution. That's a caution. Just to make that very clear to the tower, so that they can be like, oh, is that a caution? So hopefully we'll get that all sorted out here. I'm sure it's Daytona. You kind of have to we always got to work the bugs out a little bit procedurally at Daytona every year. Just the growing pains of a new season.
Randy Watt won the race off pit road.
Okay, I didn't miss anyone wrecking, did I?
Not this time.
Okay, thank God.
Oh, the 30 just wrecked. Never mind, I missed it. Xavier Brown. Inside barrier. Here's a look at it. Here's a replay.
I think something happened with the 30 of Brown, Joe. Yeah, it looks like the throttle just hung. Something disconnected, maybe.
think he had some of those issues 1 year ago.
Yeah, still stuck on the grass here. This is a big deal for the 30 machine. A lot of damage on the nose of that Ford Mustang. Very unfortunate. Brown has been doing good tonight already.
Amendment to the rules in chat. So if you're playing the game, amendment to the rules.
Brown saying that is indeed a controller disconnect. Can't get it to reconnect at the moment, so just trying to troubleshoot that.
Did he retire?
Looks like, a very unfortunate Xavier Brown retiring for the race. So
Ugh.
very unfortunate to see that with the 30 team. Doing a great job tonight. Had a great run going there. Definitely problems out of their control. I guess, Joe, that's like the sim racing equivalent of a mechanical failure, if I've ever seen one. Yeah, like, it just won't work.
Oh, AJ, you can keep watching it, though.
Yeah, you keep watching.
You don't mind.
Well,
Folks,
well,
got 32
fair.
folks currently tuned in. If you like what we're doing here on JTN up in the booth, make sure you click that like button on the video. Again, it does so much to help support us here on JTN, support all the content that we do. It's more than just the Maverick Cup Series. We've got some great races coming up here, including this Thursday night Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action from Lime Rock Park. Then it's the USORL Cup Series here at Daytona on Saturday night, late night, 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we're back 1 week's time with the Maverick Cup Series from Auto Club. Those races and much, much more, of course, will be live right here only on JTN. Again, would really appreciate if you could click that like button. And if you feel so kind, it's your first time tuning in, click subscribe. Again, it's a great way to stay up to date with all the things we do here. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate it. See, the way I like to think about it is, you don't get this kind of customer service with just any old streamer, right, Ricky? I think we're number one in customer service.
I think we're number one in customer service. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for this, what we're doing, the size of this.
Got 2 people tuning in on Twitch as well. We're live over there, twitch.tv/JoeTowNetwork. So thank you to the folks over there on Twitch. To keep up to date with all of our shenanigans. As the 28 of Rob... That's not the right name. 28 leads us back to green. We're back on our way here from Daytona. Already cars aggressive, trying to get to the inside line. Saw the 051 and 18 both make a big move to get down there. Randy Waugh, though, on the outside, looking strong with that Dodge Charger.
'28 machine takes point here with a push from Hannah. Randy Waugh kind of stuck to the outside by himself, waiting on some help, Joe.
Brendan Whitford out in front in the number 28, though. Help from Jess Hanna, Mondays of the Thunder admin, one of our ones to watch here tonight.
'28 on point, still 16 going with him. Randy Waugh kind of dropping back here, just looking for some help.
Gonna be able to drop down in line, leaves Benjamin Snyder out to dry in the 22. MOT 1234 is what Keith says.
Boogity and boogity and boogity and around this joint here, Joe. And everyone's finally starting to get kind of comfortable with racing on that outside line. Kind of starting to experiment with that to see if they can kind of work around some things. But one person that's really happy where they are is Brendan Whitford in the 28 here. Still leading Jess Hanna in the 16. Mike Carroll in the 35 here in third. Randy Waugh starting to come back on the outside here, getting a big push from the 051 machine. Dave Jandry, the 051 in the 21 were the two that were leading a lot of the early point of this race. Now kind of shuffled back a few spots. Starting to get some help from RJ Bishop in that 42 car. Bishop starting to become a factor in this race as they're coming up on the outside here, getting some more help from the 12 of Barham.
Trying to get that outside line working here. Lap 21 of 125. Still in the early stages of this race. Randy Waugh trying to lead a charge there on the outside behind the wheel of his number 21 Dodge Charger. And has help from pole sitter in the 051 of Dave Jandry. Nick asks in chat, is this like a BR track where the top is equal? I am not sure.
I am not sure either. I thought it was the middle that was equal. I might be wrong on that. But you kind of see what these guys are doing right now. They're kind of dancing around a lot out here, so I'm not really sure where the grip necessarily lies. I don't know if these guys really know right now, too. I think they're just sort of experimenting. You see Randy Waugh starting to come back here up top, and we're starting to get this two-wide pack kind of rolling. I think these guys really starting to get comfortable with each other and get comfortable racing up here for this front grouping. Helps everyone that's kind of bunched back up after that first caution. So now we got 12 cars in this pack. Supposed to 10 and the 32 is Zachary Hall on the apron, and he saves it. How did he hang on to that, Joe?
A lot of skill. Probably a little bit of luck. And just determination and will.
What a save by that 32 car to not just absolutely spill his guts out right there on the apron. Great job by Zachary Hall. And he might be able to stay with this draft, too. He's getting some help from the 75 of Dotson here, who's right behind him, kind of giving him that push.
You know, if we look at it from high above, I think he's going to get a bump here at the end of the back straightaway from the 22. That might get this car upset. And it gets a bump in the right rear.
And that 32's been kind of warping and blinking a little bit a lot tonight. It's kind of settled down for the moment, but you got to think that compact's going to be a little bit iffy when that happens to that car. Everyone's starting to move around again. 22, Ben Snyder going up the middle there for the second. They're all going to group back together. No, they're going to go. Yeah, Ben's going to jump to that outside line. Everyone really starting to maneuver around each other. I keep seeing a lot of, like, shuffling left and right.
Ben Snyder's
doing a great job of trying to hustle each other out of line, honestly.
Ben Snyder's been Mr. Excitement here tonight in this 22 car.
RJ Bishop tries to get to the inside there. I don't know if he got into Irvin Vargas or if Vargas tried to go for him, but I saw him go to the apron there. I was afraid they made contact, but nothing there. So everyone's still rolling around nice and steady here. Brandon Whitford still leading the joint here at Daytona. You see Jess Hanna kind of looking all over the place. Sorry, Brendan. I said Brandon.
Brendan Whitford, like you said, with control. You got MOT drivers 1 through 4 right now.
Brendan Whitford control.
See Randy Waugh now looking to the inside. RJ Bishop.
Oh, great. Give me that pun. Oh, Ben Snyder gets to the outside wall. RJ Bishop kind of closed the door on Ben there, going down the back straightaway.
I would understand what the pun was because he's driving a Kia.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what does that have to do with it?
I thought you said with Ford.
Oh.
Like he had...
No, I just meant because his name has with in it. That's all I was going for.
Okay.
That's all I was going for. It wasn't a good pun at all, but 60 car looking all over the place, but you see the 42 RJ Bishop kind of trying to go alone on this outside line at the moment. Trying to get a little bit of help, but nobody looking to bite just yet. But here comes Whitford jumping to the outside. I wonder if this is by design, if this 28 wants to relinquish the lead to Hanna and kind of, got his laps led here, kind of let these guys do their thing and then come back to fight later, or if he's trying to work with RJ Bishop.
So that 28 shuffled out of line.
Ben Snyder and the other Kia is also on that top line, so it might be possible that he's looking for some help with his other Kia brethren. Some of those manufacturer games that they play. But Jess Hanna now on point here in Daytona.
Race car drivers don't play games.
I had to play cribbage.
Okay.
Mike Carroll looking all over the place, so on Jess Hanna. I don't know how long Carroll's going to be content riding around here. He definitely is looking as a sharp-looking Skittles machine. Oh, again, a little dicey there. Vargas looking to the inside of Carroll. I always start getting a little sweaty under the collar there, Joe, when I get the nose to the inside of someone coming off the corner. That's always when it happens. Allison Rodrigo in chat saying, "Hey, Maverick Night America couldn't show up tonight. We're planning to make some starts this season, but great to see you in chat here. I hope you're having fun watching. Can't wait to see you in the races later this season."
Wait to see that 43 back out there on track.
I could have been more genuine sounding in that statement, Joe. I was reading that really fast, but I sounded a little bit wooden. I didn't sound like a genuine, like, thank you for watching. I meant that. I meant that very genuine. I just definitely didn't do a good job of conveying that there. Randy Watt making another charge for this outside spot here. You see the 36 kind of staying on that bottom, but if he jumped up right now, Joe, I think he might be able to get some help with this 21 to get on by Hanna, but Watt loses his help. RJ Bishop going down to the bottom. RJ Bishop has been top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. I don't think he's ran a single line twice in in 2 laps this entire run, Joe. I think he just keeps... He's just playing the field. He's quite literally playing the field. He's just going anywhere that there isn't people, anywhere there's a gap, just trying to kind of snake his way around this joint. And right now, riding 4th in line on that bottom spot, I think it's the highest he's been so far. So, Bishop doing a great job out here. We'll see if he gets greedy and tries to go for this outside spot now that there's an opening. Nothing yet.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of showing everyone that you're willing to make those moves, and if you're willing to make those moves, maybe a guy gets out of your way thinking you'll go with him, and then you can take advantage of that. I mean, it's all about kind of building up this, building up a little bit of stock out there. A lot of these drivers maybe haven't raced with each other too often, especially in the last 6 months. So trying to build up some of that trust, build up some of that confidence, and, you know, maybe build up some of that, that evaluation of the talent behind the wheel, and getting those guys to think that you're able to go out there and make those moves. It's all part of it. It's nothing wrong with being aggressive on a super speedway, going line to line. Nothing wrong until you wreck a bunch of people. Let me get that fixed real quick. Nothing wrong until you wreck a bunch of people. Then there's something wrong. I mean,
look, it's only a bad idea if it doesn't work.
Exactly. That's what we say in engineering, right, Ricky?
Yeah, basically, it's only a bad idea if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Dino Bishop
no, 21 in the wall. Big one.
Contact, 18 around, 21, big spin in the air. This is going to be the big one, Joe.
Randy Waugh, the rear end of that car is smushed.
Oh, Waugh gets into 33 at Chalviana turning around. 23 and Nebelsack spins out coming through this.
Oh, no. Well, let's start by getting a replay. Like the 42 just comes up into the 21. Big contact there. Big hit to the back of the 21. Don't know if that came from the 75 or 22.
Joe, I'm watching the 42 here from behind him. It looks like the car comes up off the turn. He tries to get back behind the 70. I think the 70 checks up to the 36. Gets in the back bumper of the 36. And Bishop just tries to kind of pull back in when the momentum is kind of working opposite to him and just gets into the back of the 70. That's what kicks him loose.
You see Randy Waugh there get into the Get into the words. The 23 and 33. Let's go on board with Benjamin Snyder here from our JTN helmet cam.
Now, on the bright side, Joe, moderate damage tonight. So, well, Randy Watt is stuck in the grass on the front stretch, so he's going to have to tow it. So this is going to hurt him a little bit. But the front end of that Charger looks fine. It looks like the rear end just needs to be pulled out. So they might be able to do that. A lot of guys that were involved in this, I'm not seeing a lot of considerable damage on any of them. 42 Bishop doesn't even look like he's been hit, and I know that he took the inside wall just a little bit. But this will probably mean that I think a lot of these guys should be good to continue. I think the big question will be the guys that got towed, like the 21 Watt. I think Ben Snyder got towed.
He did.
The guys that got stuck basically in the grass with their tires down. We'll probably have to get a little help here. But other than that, I mean, I want to say it could have been worse, but it probably could have been worse.
Yeah, probably.
A lot of softer hits, per se, for a lot of these guys.
Mike Carroll wins the race off pit road in the Skittles Toyota.
I jinxed it, Joe, by saying this is a big one, because that probably means we're going to get another big one.
Probably.
Maybe that's the JTN jinx. If I say that we jinxed it, maybe it won't actually happen, because that's jinxing the jinx. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you're having fun.
Yeah. Update from the 30. Driver okay, not sure what happened, but the controller will be fixed. Auto Club next week.
That is good to hear. You always want to make sure that the controller is going to get fixed.
I always want to hear that the sim racer's okay, too.
Yeah.
Ricky. Have a little compassion.
I'm sorry. I just prioritize material possessions over human beings.
You are an engineer. Okay, ready to go back. Green flag racing by Carroll, Irvin Vargas, Brendan Whitford, Jess Hanna, Todd Wilson, defending series champion. Your top 5 for the race start. Come to lap 35 of 125. Gonna be 91 laps to go. It wouldn't be the same without Ricky. That's right, Xavier.
Coming back to green here, Mike Carroll going to be leading, waiting on that command, and here he comes. Green flag back in the air, lap 35 of 125 of tonight's event.
Side-by-side battle for the lead. Irvin Vargas
I got a car in the apron.
hanging tough on the outside. We stay green. Everyone collects it.
Like Vargas gonna jump behind Carroll. Two gonna try working together to kind of get away from this field a little bit. Almost looks like Vargas doesn't want to get too far ahead of these guys. Just go let Jess Hanna get a really big run here, drafting back up on these guys. 16 not having any help though to make a move anywhere.
And I think a lot of these drivers, the idea has to be to ride right now, Ricky. You still so long in this race, still at least 4 pit stops, or 3 pit stops rather. No, 4 because we're 90. Still a lot of time to get these things figured out, and now might not be the time to push the issue.
Yo, it's always time to push the issue. I'm an issue pusher. I like pushing issues.
You like pushing issues?
I like pushing issues.
Interesting.
Buttons. And
You
rocks,
push my
large
buttons.
rocks, like pushing.
You push my buttons a lot, Ricky.
Definitely do. And, this is pushing buttons right now. Mike Carroll, as he's leading. Steering wheel is a button. That's an input. That's all I got. That was my only segue on that. Oh, they're getting a little dicey here at 32. Zachary Holt, big save again.
Coming back up the track.
Oh, my goodness. How did they not get together? That was... Oh, God, that was Clem City.
Watch this from high above. Contact with 27 as he comes down, sends a 32 towards the inside. Zachary Hall dirt tracking it there, and just barely misses the 51 of Jason Dady.
Man, that almost was really nasty for Jason Dady. Oh, Mark Snyder, 27 down in the dirt. Oh, he hangs on to it. Brandon Whitford in his 28 car kind of looking all over the place. I think Whitford kind of wants to go back up and play with these leaders. He just needs a route to do it. See how much they're snaking though going through that tri-oval.
It's a snake.
It's a snake, yeah. RJ Bishop to the outside here in the 18 of Todd Wilson, not letting that accident deter him. Trying to make some moves again to get back up to the front.
22 of Benjamin Snyder has retired after getting some damage from a spin.
RJ Bishop getting a big push by the 28 of Whitford. Trying to see if they can make something happen on this outside. Whitford kind of gets into the wall a little bit. That's going to hurt that endeavor.
Bishop gets back in line in front of the 051.
One looking around a little bit, you see Chow Vienna to the inside of the 051 of Jandry for a second there. Here comes 42 RJ Bishop giving a push to Barham in the 12. They were looking to the outside for a second there. They got a big gap on this top 4. I wonder if they're trying to kind of use a slingshot here to get a run on these guys.
Get a run and then what? Get even with second or third car in line so that way you can start to try to pull him back a little bit? Is that the idea?
Maybe. We'll have to see.
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know. I know as much as you do, Joe.
Let's
I can't
take a
read
look.
minds. Ball going to the outside. RJ Bishop gonna follow him up there, trying to give him that push.
Ed Bishop in that 42, not afraid to make some moves here tonight. And now cut back
RJ
to the
Bishop
inside of the 12.
Back to the inside. He's gonna leave that 12 out to dry.
Now, if you do that too many times, no one's going to want to work with you.
No, yeah, you don't want to do it too many times. You want to make sure you're using those moves at the right time. Oh, the 33, the 28 get together, collecting the 21. Big wreck here coming into turn 2.
Caution.
Jason Diddy in the 51 coming through it. Actually, there was some issues, Joe, that 28 of Brendan Whitford. He was warping a lot for me. He kind of vanished and then was underneath the 33 at Chaviana.
The field getting slowed down here behind Mike Carroll in that Skittles car. Can't miss that rainbow machine. He'll be coming down for pit stops this time. Wilson having a slam on the brakes there. So all these leaders going to come down the pit lane. Take this opportunity for fresh Goodyears. Throw some Sunoco Racing fuel into the tank. You ever throw anything else into the fuel tank besides gasoline, Ricky?
I have not, Joe, because I'm not a psychopath.
Okay. I wasn't calling you a psychopath.
No, I know you weren't. No, I want to destroy a nice fuel tank.
You don't put sand in your gas tank?
No, not usually.
What about pure alcohol like Dodge is doing with that Challenger they dropped yesterday?
Okay, maybe that's an exception.
Did you see that? It's got like over 1,000 horsepower. Asking price is like $97,000.
Yes.
Oh, Tristan, I can't read that. Ricky could, though.
What?
Look at chat.
Throw a little bit of orphan's blood in there sometimes. Well, that is
That is disturbing.
that is what you do in your free time. I would say take up puzzles.
Find a more constructive hobby.
Yeah. Not necessarily a more productive hobby, but one with a stronger legal basis.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're having a fun time tonight.
I am. Are you having a fun time tonight?
I am indeed having a fun time tonight. Maverick Night in America. You always have fun in Maverick Night in America.
Always have fun on Maverick Night in America.
We're going back green this time around. 16 car of Jess Hanna will be leading with Dave Jandry getting back to the outside spot here. Kind of a repeat of where he was at the start of the race. Right in that front row. Going to be trying to vie for that lead.
If Jandry can retake what he started this race with, or if Jess Hanna will be able to get the help from the 35 of Carroll and maintain the lead here on the restart. Coming to lap 46 of 125. 80 laps to go when we hit the line. We creep towards the restart zone. And back away we go. Green flag once again here from Daytona.
All right, Dave Bishop gives that 051 a really good push right in the start there. Puts the 051 side by side with the 16 of Hannah coming into turn number 1 here. We'll see if that outside line can hold on. Usually it's been kind of bested by that low line, usually coming on the back straightaway. But, Joe, this time it looks like they might have enough numbers to keep it rolling.
They got 3 up there right now. Inside line, though, going to prevail for the time being. Jess Hanna and the Pizza Hut Ford with the lead. A good shove from the 42. Locking bumpers with the 051 there down the back straightaway. They were able to get some momentum into the corner as the inside line slips up a little bit.
And it helps, too, when the inside line checks out. They get you a big run. You see the 18 of Todd Wilson also joining the shuffle, so that really helps them out if he stays up there. But Wilson going to jump back out, so that might actually hurt these guys.
Wilson gets out of line. The 75 of Sean Dotson, though, going to jump up into that outside line. Try to gain himself some positions. Now drops back to the bottom, and this inside line going to once again get clear of the outside. Roger Nebelsack there in third, the 23 involved in our first caution of the night of our early incidents. Good to see that ski machine up there towards the front of the field. And able to rebound.
Just riding around at the moment here, Joe. These guys kind of keeping that single file. Jess Hanna and this Pizza Hut 16 kind of holding command. Pizza Hut and Skittles, that's a weird combo. I don't know if I do that.
It's a good combo.
I feel like
you have some pepperoni pizza and then you get some Skittles afterwards?
oh, I mean, that's, I guess, fair. I thought that meant Skittles on pizza.
No.
I don't think you would ever have a solid, I don't think you'd have a solid bowel movement for a week after that.
Probably not.
Probably not. But Jess Hanna, hopefully not dealing with that misfortune as that 16 car is leading here at Daytona. Joe, what are you looking for right now with these guys? Kind of settle down a little bit. Do you think they're kind of just trying to log some laps to get to this next pit stop?
Huh. Ricky, can you rephrase the question?
Do you think these guys are getting to the next green flag pit stop?
Can you rephrase it?
Trying to get to it.
Can you rephrase it?
Do you think these guys are drive around trying to make lap to get onto road for rubber donuts and dinosaur juice?
Thank you. I mean, I think that's what you're hoping for. You know, we talked about those green flag pit stops are always the great differentiator between the drivers that are really good on the super speedways and the ones that might just be okay. Which isn't a bad thing, right? Everyone needs somewhere to improve, but I think if you're any of these drivers out here, you want that opportunity. It's a good chance to maybe gain some track position if you feel really confident with your ability to come down pit lane under green on a super speedway, and if you can get things sorted out, you know, green flag pit stops are good. So yeah, I think all these drivers, they want to get there, Ricky. It's more so tonight been a matter of, can we get there? Talking about our leader in that Pizza Hut car, Detroit-style deep dish pizza from Pizza Hut. We got Tristan is one of the top 3 pizzas of all time. Hope you can try actual Detroit-style pizza. Also, brings up the... I don't know if you ever saw it, Ricky, but it was really good. Little Caesars had, like, a pretzel pizza back in the day.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They put, like, the pretzel cheese on it, and then normal, like, cheese and pepperoni. That thing was very good. Wasn't good reheated, though.
Yeah, that does sound not pleasant reheated. That definitely sounds like one that you have, like, one shot on.
Yeah. Because Little Caesars has some reheatability in it. You just have to get the right... You have to get the right one, which is the problem. Nah, Matt. I don't know if it's the worst.
I would agree with Matt. No, I would wholeheartedly agree with Matt. I am not really fond of it reheated, and I hope that doesn't cost us a sponsorship, in which case I love it reheated.
Yeah, fresh, it's a solid pie. I wish it wasn't so expensive. Now, you know. What happened to my $5 pizza, Ricky?
I want my $5 footlong, Joe. I want my MTV, Joe. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but Maverick, not Maverick, Roger Neville
Maverick Night in America.
Go to the outside here, the 23. I got a hobo on the mind still, because I keep thinking the 23 is a Maverick, but this is Maverick Cup Series, but that is not Maverick driving that 23 car. That is Roger Nebelsack.
He got out of line, tried to make a move, and got hung out to dry by Vargas in the 70.
Did definitely get shuffled around there. You see 32 Zach all starting to get back up here, but also that car is twitching a little bit. You got to think that might be making that 18 to Todd Wilson a little bit itchy there, a little bit not wanting to be in line, depending on where that 32 is going.
What do you do when a car's having those internet issues around you? It's not like you just evacuate, right?
You just kind of bide your time. You just try not to get too close to them.
Give them a little extra room.
Yeah, but at the same time, it does affect how you drive in the draft, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'll jump into the outside here. Doesn't look like anyone going with him just yet. I would think that as we're getting... Which kind of seems like an inverse of what you think, but I feel like as we're getting closer to the halfway point here, that these guys would probably be trying to get to green stops just to make sure that they can kind of get out of this alive. I think if these guys get to green flag stops, this divides us up a lot. Hannah still leading here at Daytona, coming down for lap 56 of 125. Like I said, going to be coming up on 10 lap mark. We have about give or take 10 laps. Not 10 laps, sorry. Coming up on the halfway mark at about 10 laps.
Do you want to start over or?
Coming up on the halfway mark at about 10 laps.
All right, good job.
Yeah, I got that a little backwards, didn't I?
You're good, Ricky. Lap 63 is halfway. And I wanted to correct you in chat. Ricky.
I'd say exactly 10 laps. I said about 10 laps. I couldn't do the math in my head that quick.
Now 7 laps to halfway.
I just gonna keep doing that math to rub it in my face.
Yep. I'm gonna say it every time we hit the line. Next time I'll say 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then. Alright, Tristan with the even more accurate correction. Actually, 62.5 is halfway.
Oh yeah, technically.
Who made you a mathematist?
A math magician.
Math magician.
A math physician, if you will. Jess Hanna still leading here at Daytona, lap number 58 of 125 of tonight's event. You see a little further back here, Barham in the 12 car starting to get some help with Roger Nebelsack up top there. Looks like they're starting to try to kind of do some work to see if they can get that top lane rolling. I would think they would need some help. But they're getting a little bit disheveled, a little bit disorganized back here.
Yeah, just not enough. I mean, it's too small of a pack, really. You don't have enough cars in this lead draft right now, Ricky, to really make something work. In my opinion. I think you either need more cars or you need to really execute here on this pit stop if you want to make that track position up, especially if you're the 23, because you know you have a fast enough car, right? You were running third 5 or so laps ago before you ducked out of line.
.42 RJ Bishop looking back to that top side again. Doesn't really have any help, though. I don't think he's going to be able to make much headway. He's going to need some drafting help from somebody out there.
Or just drop to the back.
Or just drop to the back, but I mean, that's the
Unideal,
Twitter stock, Joe.
Unideal solution.
You see that? See Mike Carroll looking around there, that 35 car.
Don't get looking too much. Two and a half laps to halfway here from Daytona. HVRL Daytona 500, 125 laps, 500 kilometers here tonight. I'm Joe, Ricky joining me up here in the booth tonight for JTN's coverage. Race 1, 2023 Maverick Cup Series season. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with all the action all season long here on JTN. We got some great races also coming up later on this week. First up, it's the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from Lime Rock Park this Thursday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then the USORL Cup Series is live for the Daytona International Speedway. Coverage kicking off at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. RJ Bishop coming down pit lane, going to be lonely down there in the 42. And then 1 week from tonight, the HVRL Maverick Cup Series heads out west to the Auto Club Speedway. Coverage kicking off 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races, much more, of course, live right here only on JTN. Halfway this time at the halfway mark of the back straightaway. And we are, Ricky,
Yeah.
halfway. Woo!
Woo!
Bow, bow, bow. I wish we could do like the little progress bar like Fox is doing. That's
Oh,
pretty-
here comes everyone coming down pit road, Joe. And oh, that 16 lit him up. 36, 35, Carroll misses pit road.
Vargas. Oh no!
Oh, gets to the 051. Oh, big pile up here on pit road.
33 misses the box.
Oh my goodness, Joe, this is just a bad
Chaos.
green flag pit stop for everyone involved. Who's gonna get the lead on this?
Chaos.
Carroll coming off pit road. I imagine he's probably gonna have to go back around. Mark Snyder coming out. Jess Hanna coming out. We'll see.
The replay of it. The road was a little chaotic. Roger Nebelsack and Todd Wilson, though, they're a little more organized. Down pit lane together on the 23 and 18. I finally understand why you keep calling the 35 the 36.
Yeah, it almost looks like a 36. And also a Skittles car.
I was going to more so say the Skittles car part.
Carroll on the apron here. We'll see what happens. Who's coming down or who's... Mark Snyder and Jess Hanna still out here.
Well, Jess Hanna came down pit lane. Might have been speeding, so I'll have to watch the 16. He has to come back down.
Roger Nelson, Todd Wilson merging right now. We're going to try to figure out where these guys are going to all come into the shuffle.
I think they'll cycle out with the lead, Ricky.
You think so?
I think so. They're way out ahead of the 16.
Well, 16's definitely got speed.
I mean, this
Mark
field...
Snyder, I think, a lap down at the moment, so Snyder's kind of riding around behind these guys.
Oh, Snyder into the wall.
Here comes Jess Hanna around the outside. Hanna might actually take the lead here, Joe.
Oh, so maybe that 16 was able to get down to pit road speed. I was a little concerned how much smoke was coming off of the tires.
Yeah, looks like the 16's up to speed and rolling, so Jess Hanna back to the point here at Daytona. Todd Wilson in that second spot. There goes to Roger Nebelsack.
Mark Snyder in the 27, a lap down, but hanging on to these leaders.
Next car behind them is fourth spot, RJ Bishop, who's about 4 seconds behind, but Bishop all by himself, no drafting help. He's going to need the 75 of Dotson, this 51 at Dady to catch him for fifth and also a lap down in the 14th spot, respectively.
So what did we say? Green flag pit stops would be a difference maker?
Yes, we did, Joe.
And guess what the green flag pit stops are?
A difference maker.
As we go from 10 to 3 here at the front of the field. Jess Hanna, Todd Wilson, Roger Nebelsack. Roger, a late addition to this race here tonight in the 23. Coming up on the 35, again, Carroll having to serve a penalty after an improper pit entry.
Around the 35 of Mike Carroll, who had to come down again. So he'll be a lap down here. Probably racing with Mark Snyder for position.
Yeah, they'll be racing for the 11th spot. Gonna be some contact.
Oh, they made contact! Oh, Mike Carroll hangs on to it. What happened here, Joe?
Let's get a replay.
Like Mark Snyder was trying to stay with these front cars and grab the apron there and just went all the way up the tri-hole. don't know if he lost the car there when he tagged, because he kind of entered the triangle kind of on the apron. I don't know if that's what threw the car up the track. You kind of see he tries to catch it.
Well, we stay green. Then we keep our eyes on our 3 leaders here. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on the JoeTow Network. You can also follow us on our social media at JoeTow Network, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Instagram and TikTok, we're, of course, uploading our little shorts feed videos that are also posted here on our main YouTube channel, so check those out. If you miss a race, you can catch some of the highlights through there. But as always, the best way to help support us here on JTN is to make sure you're subscribed right here on youtube.com/@JoeTowNetwork. Just past 10 o'clock in the east.
These guys having their fun out here at the Daytona. Possibly to 500 times, Joe.
So, Ricky, why we kind of have a lull in this race? Anything you want to talk about?
I say 15% of my insurance by switching to nobody.
Oh.
Don't get into an accident with me. I'm uninsured.
Wouldn't you save more than 15%?
You think so?
Okay.
That's not true. I am insured. I would like to stop all the libelous statements right now saying that I don't have car insurance. I do, in fact, have car insurance. I won't say with who, though. Yo, as we have this lull, is there anything you want to say?
You can check out a new episode of the Fake Racers podcast now available over on JTN2. Myself, Davey Hazard, and Matthew Steelman talk about all the headlines coming out of Atlanta. An iconic thumbnail as well. Again, go check it out over on JTN2. It's the Fake Racers podcast now available.
Well, Joe, I think for the moment, these guys are going to be riding around, wait for that next round of pit stops. How many laps do you think they get to a can of fuel? Like 20, 22?
Yeah, probably 18 to 22.
When they come down last time, like 60...
62, 63, 64,
maybe
65.
Yeah, so probably about in like next 15 or so laps. Probably start seeing those rumblings again.
Not even, like 10 laps.
Maybe 10 laps, yeah. Yo, I could just step all over you, too.
Am I stepping on you? I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I'm just like, it keeps having trains of thought, and I keep like...
Oh, no, you're good. We're
No, you're fine.
We're vibing up
I'm
here
just
in the
messing
booth
with
from
you.
Daytona tonight, folks. coming up on some lap traffic. 28.
Brendan
Whitford.
Whitford, this is for the 10th spot. Going to be going a lap down. Randy Wad with 13th, who I think is already a lap down. He might actually be racing with... oh, no. Was already a lap down, so he's going to go 2 laps down, so he won't be racing with... Mark Sayer for position. These guys got to make sure they're careful, though.
I have to think that 21 car might have a little bit of damage from that most recent incident. Going to slide down in line.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, folks, you can also buy your... Interesting. Always buy your Maverick Night and America t-shirts. They're available on the merch shelf here on YouTube. You can check them out on the JTN merch store. Maverick Night and America t-shirts now available on the JTN merch store. Rep your favorite night of sim racing.
Having a fun old night of sim racing here, indeed. Coming to the outside of the 33 Chaviana right now as these guys rolling on by. This is working out pretty well for Mark Snyder. He is up to the 10th spot. Just kind of riding around with his front grouping. It's not going to help him unlap himself. He's going to need a caution for that, but it keeps him in touch to hang on to that lucky dog spot. And as they're kind of rolling on by cars that are possibly damaged or on separate strategies, hopes this 27 car kind of gains some spots out there. So, Joe, we got like 50 laps to go right now. What are you looking for in this last little stint of the race here, this last little jaunt?
Come again?
What are you looking for this last 50 laps of this race?
I'm looking for cars to continue to go around this 2.5 mile super speedway, and to continue to, you know, maybe a couple of green flag pit stops. But overall, I'm just looking to have some fun. What about you, Ricky?
I am looking for these guys to capitalize on these green flag pit stops, making sure that they don't speed on pit road this next time around. You really, really don't want to get set back when you have this huge advantage on these guys.
All right, Tristan, let's play another round of your game. Take a drink, because I said so. That's a new rule. There you go. Wake you up a little bit. Oh, 51 and 70, they're side by side with the leaders coming behind them.
We'll see what happens here. The leader, they're going to try to kind of move out of the way for the leaders. Dave Jandry going to try to do this.
This is,
Off of the dirt almost, trying to let these guys on by. Kind of stuck on the apron. These guys want to make sure they get on by quick. Jandry getting on the binders there to let these guys on by. Great job by the 051 to let these guys on by. Same thing with Irvin Vargas. This kind of works out for Mark Snyder, though, because he was racing that 051 for position. So he gets 1 position, he gets 2.
yeah, I was going to say, Andy was racing 70, right?
051 going on to pit road, so maybe this was by design. Maybe Jandry was trying to get down this time.
I see the 28 also coming off the pit lane now. So that could have been wrong with my pit calculation there, Ricky. I apologize. Hear those cars? Hear them racing?
Everyone up front staying, everyone up front still staying out. The moment. Oh, 12 car around on pit road, Joe.
How did that
machine
happen?
Of Dale Barham.
How did this
Looks
happen?
like he just overshot it a little bit, trying to slow down. When he got into the grass, the tires locked up and he went around.
Do you see it? Comcast Business, built for speed.
Go for speed so fast, he was speeding on pit road. That's how fast that Comcast Business is.
How fast that Comcast Business Internet is. As fast as
5
Comcast
10
Business
cars
Internet.
parked it. That's very unfortunate. The car was good early on. Or 051, I'm sorry, not 510, but our pole
That was
sitter.
pole sitter.
Great car all race, but kind of called it here at about lap 79.25 tonight's event. $32 of Zachary Hall also down on pit road right now, Joe. So I have to think these leaders are going to be coming soon.
Yeah, I would assume as well. Wonder if the 18 and 23 go a lap longer than the 16 and try to hang them out to dry and then decide it between themselves. These last couple
you never know.
runs.
Here comes Jess Hannah. Hannah going to be leading them down. She's got to make sure not to lock them up. Hannah really getting on the binders. I think that's going to be good.
Mark Snyder also aggressive to pit road. Have to see if that 27 was able to make it down.
I think he did.
Todd
I
Wilson,
think
though.
everyone did a good job of coming down this time.
Todd Wilson all by his lonesome on track in the 18 now.
Randy Waugh down on pit road. Waugh still holding tough here in that 21 car, just trying to riding around 2 laps down, trying to get those laps back somewhere. Roger Nebelsack, though, Joe, came out with a huge lead. I don't see anyone else coming off pit road yet. Just Hannah's just coming off.
Well, that 16 might have been speeding or had a commitment line issue then.
Yeah, that was interesting because no one got going. Nebelsack, by all accounts, had a normal pit stop, I think.
And, I mean, he's already clear down into turn 4, or turn 3,
Yeah.
rather.
Interesting indeed. So we'll see what happens here as this all kind of shuffles through. 82 of 125 laps today have been completed. Kind of getting down to the end. Probably about 2 pit stops left, give or take. Nebelsack not the leader. Looks like the 18 of Todd Wilson's the leader at the moment, Joe.
Yeah, so Wilson able to cycle through with the lead, the 18. I think this 23 will be able to catch him here down the back straightaway since he is already up to speed. But what was 3 is now going to be down to 2.
It is true, Joe, and that puts RJ Bishop up into the 3rd spot. That 42 car has just been flicking away, trying to get back all that lost position that he's had from the incident and the starting from pit road. A lot of issues with that 42 tonight, so rallying right now for that 3rd spot is definitely a well-fought battle here. 35 of Mike Carroll down on pit road right now. Todd Wilson has caught Roger Nebelsack, or Roger Nebelsack's caught Todd Wilson, and they made the pass on him. So Roger Nebelsack now your leader, but Todd Wilson right with him, 23 and 18. At the moment, this looks like this is our race for the win. But a long ways to go still, so you don't want to throw in the throw the cars down just yet.
Long way to go. You never know when a funny might happen, Ricky. You never know.
You never know when a caution's gonna hit at these places.
No, a funny.
Or funny. You gonna call it a funny?
Yeah. It's better that way.
What about silly?
That could be a silly.
A silly Willy.
Silly little Willy.
Okay.
Are you a silly, goofy little bear? Are you a silly little goofer?
Joe. You're on thin ice, Buster.
Oh, did you hear that? I was talking to Bristol.
Oh. Well, 85, 125 tonight's race so far. I don't even know what that just was. I just said 85 laps complete of 125 tonight. So that's like around this time will be 40 laps to go. I think, yes, 40 laps to go. So it's gonna be interesting here, Joe. These guys are gonna come up. I guess the next lap car they're gonna catch is Mark Snyder and then Jason Dady and Zach Hall, who are all kind of like within spitting distance of each other, but they're all going down the back straightaway right now. Our leader's just entering the back straightaway. They'll catch them pretty quickly, I think, working in a two-car tandem here. But one thing to kind of keep in mind is that a lot of these other positions, they're going to want to latch onto these leaders. They're going to want that speed because they're trying to capitalize where they are. Mike Snyder, I think, is racing Jason Dady for position. Yeah, Snyder and Dady are racing for position here. So he wants to get... Oh, actually, no, never mind. Dady is 2 laps down. Snyder is 1 lap down. Just happens to be that Mark Snyder is 10th. Jason Dady is 12th. But Snyder does want to get up here to kind of get at these guys to kind of keep with this whole... this whole group, because as they catch other cars that are rolling around the track that are possibly laps down, that benefits 27.
Mm-hmm.
So in conclusion, yes.
In conclusion, yes.
In conclusion, yes.
Coming to the closing stages of the Maverick Cup Series season opener, HVRL 500 from Daytona. And folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight. I'm JoeTowNetwork, joined by Ricky Klett up in the JTN booth. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. As always, cannot thank you enough for your support here this evening. Seeing a race that throws back to a time, at least before our broadcasting days, Ricky, something maybe more on par with the races at these tracks back in the early 90s, 80s, 70s. With drafting coming into play as we head down into the corner. An interesting moment here. Mark Snyder going to keep that 27 down on the bottom as the leaders go by and put him a second lap down. Be able to get in line, though, as you said, and try to utilize the draft he'll gain off of the 18 and the 23 as they are 1-2 here from Daytona.
1-2 here from Daytona, and they're just trying to get to the end of this. So I think they're going to try to... Probably what they're trying to do here, Joe, is they're going to try to... I would think they're going to try to maximize that fuel mileage, see if they can get there on one more stop. I don't know if that's necessarily doable, but...
I know it's probably close. But yeah, I don't think it's doable. Close, though. Thank you, Tristan. Do you want to hear a fun thing for the day?
What?
Little Caesars posted a video today with a corncob crust pizza.
Corncob pipe.
And a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman. What's a fairy?
Something.
What's a fairy tale, they say? Dubbity-dub-dub-dubbity-dum-dum. Look at that, Frosty.
Somebody goes to town and they get a button nose. This is where we lose all viewership. This is always right when we lose all viewership. That should have been part of the drinking game. Is what do you drink when we start singing?
I don't think anyone probably had a Christmas song on their bingo board or a winter song, I guess.
Yeah, but a song, you know.
Well, yeah, but 35 laps to go here from Daytona. Tate says this is actually the only time he tunes in. And Tim says we've descended into madness.
We've descended we're always in madness. Who isn't always in madness? These guys get on by the 33 of Chaviana there. That's the 13th spot. This 27 Mark Snyder, this is exactly where he wants to be. If he's got to be a lap down, it's just keep riding with these guys. It's just a guaranteed.
This is what he did last run. It's just
if he
he
gets
unfortunately lost a lap.
What? Oh, yes. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he lost an
How did
extra
that
lap.
happen?
They
Why did he
passed
lose a
him and
lap
put him a
while staying
lap
with him?
down. He didn't have as good of a pit stop as these two.
That's a likely story, Joe.
Oh, we don't drink up here in the booth, Tim. We don't do that. We're professionals. We like to give the folks at home a little game to play.
Yeah, I don't need alcohol. I need sleep.
Yeah. Be nice, Tristan.
Gotta be nice. Gotta be nice. Roger Neversek still leading here from Daytona with Todd Wilson there in second. Really, this is a two-horse race at the moment, Joe. And I think the 42 is signaling he's going to pit. I read that right. Yeah, RJ Bishop coming down. This could be for fourth position. The 5-car Datsun coming down. So those are two. This is notable because this is fourth and fifth position. So give you an idea where this fuel mileage lies. Maybe these guys kind of just deciding to do this early just to make sure they can make it to the end. Are you trying to mix it up from what these leaders might be doing here? I'm not really sure, but
Yeah, or we just can't count.
you never know. 28 also coming down pit road. That's from a 9th position.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're still, what, 20... Maybe more than that. You're still 30 laps out.
I mean,
And you're at that point, you're saying you need to stop again. It's pitch strategy, Ricky. Come on. Didn't you go to the Ryan Pace School of Pitch Strategy?
you know what? You're right. I don't know how I could have been so foolish and gone against the Ryan Pace School of Pit Strategy.
Goodness. Be quiet, Tate. 30 to go. Oh, what a round!
Oh, 32 is Zachary Hall around.
Tristan, this is your fault.
See if that's any indicator anyone's going to say anything. Not seeing anything, so I guess we're still green, Joe.
Okay, well, here's the replay. It's manual cautions here tonight. We had 2 incidents early before our first caution that didn't bring out a yellow. Add this one to the tally. There's a lot of debate in chat right now, Ricky.
Very strong debate.
I don't want to touch it. $38 folks currently tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video for all the work we're doing up here in the booth. We appreciate you, as always, for tuning in to us here on JTN. Make sure if you haven't already, click the like button. Again, 37 folks, only 17 likes. What's up with that? Those numbers should be the same. Please click like. Please, oh please, click like.
Please clap.
Please, please clap.
Roger Nevillesack still leading here at Daytona with the 18 of Todd Wilson behind him. I guess it's just a matter right now of when these guys come down.
Thank you, I appreciate that, Jay Badger. My name's Joe. I appreciate
He's the man
that.
with the toe.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Seth. Here comes Nevillesack down pit lane. He's able to get down A-OK. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. Insecurities are in my head once again.
38 people watching. How about that, Joe?
Look at that. They know we're coming down to the end of it. It's the most exciting part of the night. The end of the Maverick Cup Series. HVRL Daytona 500 here. From, you guessed it, Daytona. Todd Wilson currently leads, but needs to make a pit stop here. And here comes the 18. Not insecure. Alright, so the 18's in. Let's find the 23. Where is he? There he is. I might actually get to be able to sniff some draft here down the back straight. That's going to help him.
I think this is all a big game here. Todd Wilson takes 2 tires. We'll see if he can get ahead of this 23 or not. 23 of Nevillesack coming through turn number 3 and 4 right now. 18 coming off pit road right now, going into turn number 1. He's in the trial actually at the moment, so we'll see where this puts at 23. Nevillesack has a bit ahead of steam here, riding around behind the 12 machine of Barham. So he's got that speed, he's got that momentum. The 18 is on track right now, trying to get up to speed, but he's also all by himself, so we'll see.
I don't know. He might have enough here because he's
You
going to get...
might be right, Joe. There's a few cars between the both of them. I mean, the problem is Todd Wilson doesn't have a draft, though.
Yeah, I thought this 21 was up to speed. Thought I could do something for him.
But this might be enough to keep Roger Nevillesack at bay. Let Todd Wilson have the lead here. And this might kind of flip this on its head here. See Roger Nevillesack coming up around the 12 car, going to make a charge at this 18 here. Todd Wilson's going to have to start blocking. Wilson not going to do it. He's going to let Roger get to the outside with the 12. Just let him take it. So Roger Nevillesack back to the point here at Daytona. Lap 102, 125 of tonight's event. The 12 getting to the inside of the 18. You got to be careful about that.
Not what you want to see if you're Todd Wilson.
Oh, not at all.
Saw the question in chat. See, it's been answered. But yes, it is fixed setup here. So everyone's got the same stuff underneath their race cars.
41 people watching right now. Oh, sorry.
That's
I
crazy.
just whacked my desk. Hope
Thank
that
you,
didn't
guys.
come over too badly on the mic, but I definitely just whacked my desk really hard there.
We heard it.
42 people. Want to say thank you for watching. I'm not in pain, but I did make a really loud noise there because I definitely did just kick my desk.
Keith, while I understand your thinking, take less fuel. And see confirmation it's fast setup. 23 has been able to kind of take advantage of Just
Comes Todd Wilson to the outside of the 23. Doesn't have this momentum. I wonder if Wilson's going to start playing around with this. I mean, he has about 20 laps here. Assuming, knock on wood, we don't get a caution. He's going to have plenty of time to kind of play around with the draft. He could pass this 23 car of Nebelsack and then let him have the lead back if he wanted to. He's like the predator playing with his food before he eats it,
Yeah. And remember, $50 on the line to the race winner here tonight, courtesy of Budget Customs.
Ooh, Keith Hughes saying it in chat. He thinks they might be 2 to 5 laps short on fuel.
Keith Hughes, last year's race winner. A little sparkle on his name. Car now going to come down the pit lane. And he's blowing up.
12 car blowing up. 13th position. Dale Barham, that's going to be probably the end of his race. That's very unfortunate. Keith saying in chat, dropped him down to 23 will allow the 18 to take less fuel. 23 pits first, and that makes it the 18's race to lose. We'll see if Keith's right. I think he's onto something there, Joe. Less fuel here, you kind of can make this 23 pit first and maybe try to take advantage of the situation. This last pit stop here, you're not going to be taking tires. You're just going to put as much fuel in as you need to get to the end of the race. Anything that you can save out there right now in terms of fuel is going to be worth its weight in gold. The caveat to that, though, is that we have a lot of cars all over the place on this track. We still have 13 cars out on track, I think, right now in total. So there's a lot of guys kind of running around out here by themselves. It just takes the leaders catching the right or the wrong person to make all the difference. You kind of saw it last time by, where Todd Wilson kind of got some guys that weren't racing for the lead position, kind of helped them draft and catch up with this 23 car. Or no, sorry, the other way around. It was Nebelsack. One in the other. Sorry, I got it kind of all mixed up in my head, but you know what I mean. They kind of use that lap traffic to their advantage to kind of work each other over. So it might be the wild card to this. And we have another car blown up. Jason Dady in the 51 car on the apron in turn number 3.
See the 51? So engine's running hot here. Or something, I don't know. We stay green.
Now, the car has had a bit of damage so far, Jason Dady, so I think that old TRD motor just gave out on it.
Well, maybe Wilson in that 18 might start getting a little worried, right? He's got one of those Toyota power plants underneath his hood.
I think that 51's definitely got a bit of damage from earlier wrecks. I wouldn't sweat on it too much right now. To Keith's point, though, just to throw that out there now,
23 just has to take more
fuel.
fuel.
He's thinking the 23 is going to take a half, 18 takes a splash. But to Keith's point about the draft, what I think we need to actually bring up here is that Roger Nebelsack's going to catch. They're going to go on by the 33 Chalviano, who's just getting up to speed here, but they're probably going to catch this 35 and 32. If Nebelsack can catch those guys, he really can kind of lean it back. I don't know. They're in a weird spot right now, Joe. There's probably, I don't know, a half a second gap, maybe 0.7 of a second gap between 35 and 23 right now, just eyeballing it. But the leaders have the speed. If Nebelsack can catch them, he can kind of just use that draft to ride around, just kind of toe off these guys. It'll keep the 18 behind him, too.
Coming down to the end of this thing. So we broadcast a lot of leagues, right? We've gone across the circuits here. All-Star Racing, we had a bunch of their races in 2021. I believe we only had one last year, but Todd Wilson, always the class of the field there, was class of the field here in the Maverick Cup Series 1 year ago. Roger Nebelsack, Monday nights with TMP and ASRA, always one of the, class of the field over there in whatever they're racing, and they race all over the place.
Here
at
comes
TMP.
Roger Nebelsack, 23 pitting first. That's going to be interesting here, Joe. This is 23 makes it down. I wasn't actually expecting him to come down that early, so I wonder if he's just going to try to split the stage here, split the last run here. We'll see if this forces the 18's hand.
We'll keep our eyes on Todd Wilson, but to my point, these two that we're seeing out front, and even third place, Jess Hanna was in third place for a while here tonight. I think RJ Bishop's there. But really, you see the cream rise to the top here of the Maverick Cup Series. You got a lot of cross-pollination between leagues. We see drivers that we see here each and every week on different nights with different places.
18 and Todd Wilson still staying out, by the way, Joe. 28 and 42 are down. 12 was already on pit road. 75 is down.
The thing is, 23 can grab some draft here, which he's not.
He doesn't really have anyone around. It's going to be the tricky part.
There's no one close.
We'll see, though, because as these guys are... He's going to be running some laps out here by himself, but Todd Wilson's also doing the same thing. That 18 just kind of riding around by his lonesome. So I don't think it's really hurting him as much as compared to if Wilson was riding around the draft. I think Nebelsack's going to need somebody to kind of merge out in front of him, though, to help him out. Todd Wilson still leading here at Daytona, though.
What?
Oh yeah, I also seen that in chat. You guys can talk about races that we aren't doing. that's not a law. We're not gonna be like, oh, that like.
We didn't broadcast that. You're not allowed to speak about it.
Yeah,
Heavens to Betsy.
Also, it's such a cease and desist for using like their name. Yeah, we don't care what races you're talking about.
Really.
Say wherever you saw it. Well, you're watching racing. You're having fun. We're all having fun here. That's all what it's all about. Having a good time and watching these leagues. Whoever's watching them, whoever's broadcasting them, we all enjoy it all. Have a fun time with it. Don't take it too seriously. But Todd Wilson taking things seriously right now. He has a cool $50 on the line if he can win this race. But Roger Nebelsack trying to best him in this game of wits with that short pit stop.
Yeah, something happened with the 42 on pit road.
Joe, who's on the $50 bill?
That's a good
Is that
question.
Andrew Jackson?
No, Jackson's on the 20.
Washington?
I think it's
Not
Grant.
Washington. What?
It's Grant.
Grant?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound right. This is Grant. Is that really? It shows how broke I am. I can't remember. I can't remember the last time I had a $50 bill. Which, such is life, I suppose. Coming down to the wire, though. 12 laps to go here at Daytona. Todd Wilson still leading, but Wilson has yet to pit. Roger Nebelsack out there basically all by his lonesome. Wilson starting to catch a draft here of Brendan Whitford in this 28. This is going to be kind of a big deal for the 18 car, Joe, because that's going to give him some tow here. But Whitford is just not up to the speed that he needs, but it does help Wilson kind of get a bit of a slingshot. That'll help him. I think these guys are going to be fishing for whatever they can get in terms of draft, any little incremental bits. But Roger Nebelsack has just been kind of stuck all by himself out there.
You're Todd, too. Do you back down to this 28? Or do you... Because, I mean, it looks like he's pressing the issue.
I mean, I would say no. You'd let the 28 come to you. If the 28 can catch you, that's great. If he can't, then it's not worth it trying to stay with him. And that I don't mean that to sound mean. I just mean that in the sense of you don't really know who has what for damage. That 28's definitely gone for a few rides today.
Right.
So if that car is not the best in the draft, you have to keep going for it. You have to just keep not thinking about him plowing.
You wouldn't want to ride there, though, and try to keep
any
saving
little
fuel.
falter in speed is going to give this to the 23 of a Nebelsack.
Okay.
But riding around here, Todd Wilson is 11 laps to go at Daytona. Going to be coming off turn 4 here to take the illustrious TWB 10 to go, Joe, and I think it's time to press the big button.
We got to get to the line first.
Okay.
All right. Pause on the button. TWB 10 to go. This is your TWB 10 to go. Welcome to the TWB 10 to go. For more information about TWB, head on over to TommyBordeaux.com, where you can find out more about Tommy's efforts to do stuff and have fun. And you're going to go to TommyBordeaux.com. Here on your TWB 10 to go.
That was a good ad read. Get paid for that or something.
I wish.
32 up ahead. Gets on the apron a little bit. Zach Hall and RJ Bishop. Mike Carroll all racing for position 5th, 6th, and 7th. Having a good little 3-car fight here. All these guys a lap down. Carroll coming down pit road this time. But Bishop just got into the back of Hall just a hair. And got that car upset.
Yeah, we've seen
Todd
this.
Wilson, though, still staying out here.
This 32 car has had the internet issues all night long. It's something I think everyone's aware of. Now it's kind of about, you know, if you're the 42 managing when you make that pass or when you give him a bump, because if you give him a bump when he's going side to side like that, you run the risk of you both getting sent into an inside or outside wall.
Yeah, I just gotta make sure you're playing careful on that, but these guys giving each other a decent amount of room, being respectful to each other. Todd Wilson really hasn't been, he's been right around here 180. He hasn't really been, like I said, Joe, I don't think that 28, I think that 28's hurting just a teeny tiny bit. It doesn't seem like he can really get up to the 18. So he's not getting a huge speed advantage on Nebelsack. Maybe like a mile an hour. He's definitely expanding that gap, but we'll see how this goes. I don't even, 118 and 125, do you think Wilson's just going to come in for a splash and see if that's enough to keep ahead of the 23?
I think so. That's got to be the strategy here. Keith brought it up. I mean,
yeah, I'm inclined to think Keith is right on that, just depending on... We see it takes a while for these guys to get up to speed, the way the cars are set up tonight. Mike Carroll coming back down pit road. I think that car got nabbed for speeding.
again, Todd Wilson's still out in front. Was your champion 1 year ago. Trying to see if he can make it to the end on fuel, if he's going to come down and take a splash, or what's going to happen here. Closing in on the end of this race from Daytona. 500 kilometers of racing here tonight on JTN on a Tuesday. And can't thank you folks enough for tuning in here tonight. Numbers have been strong all night long. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. That's the best way to stay up to date with everything we got going on here on JTN. Got a bunch of great broadcasts coming up. Kicking off later this week on Thursday nights, the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from Lime Rock Park.
18 of Todd Wilson's coming down, Joe. He's got that hand out the window coming down pit road right now.
Wilson down pit lane for the final time. Pitting with 6 laps. He'll have to run 6 laps from here. I think he's still going to have to take half a can of fuel, Ricky.
We'll see. Coming down into the stall. Obviously, going to be no tires.
No tires.
He's waiting on you here. He's revving that motor. He's trying to make sure he's ready. And he's rolling back off. Meanwhile, Roger Nebelsack in turn number 3 in 4 right now. Actually getting a bit of a draft off of Zachary Hall in the 32 car. So we'll see where the shuffles out. Todd Wilson coming off pit road, hitting the commitment line right now in the tri-oval. Nebelsack entering the tri-oval, though, still drafting off this 32 car.
No, Roger's going to get him.
Roger might actually get him here. We'll see Todd Wilson merging onto the track, trying to get with him. Zachary Hall, who would probably catch this 18. But Roger Nebelsack drafting off this 32. I don't think Nebelsack's ready to concede this, Joe. I think we got a fight on our hands. Here comes the 32, Zach Hall. He's a lap down in that 6th position. 2 laps down to be specific. Here comes Roger Nebelsack up to the outside. Gonna go by the 18 of Todd Wilson. Flying by him. So Roger Nebelsack gonna actually take advantage of the pit situation here. Todd Wilson still trying to get up to speed, trying to stay with these guys to hang on to that draft.
If you're Roger Nebelsak, you want to push this 32 right now. You want him to be going. You want to get away from this 18. Don't let him get a sniff of your draft, and you can seal the deal in a victory and $50 in your pocket here tonight.
I think Nebelsak might have made the wrong step there. He's going to let Hall take that bottom. I think he was trying to get on by him. Hall's trying to go for his position. He's in 6th.
He's trying to stay on the lead lap.
He is a lap down right now, so he does have incentive to want to stay on the lead lap, or stay 1 lap down, I mean, and not go 2 laps down. That's letting the 18 and Todd Wilson kind of hang on with these guys as they're just stuck side by side. They can't get away from each other.
Now the 32 going to get behind the 23. Roger finally able to complete that pass. Now it has a buffer car between them and the 18 of Todd Wilson. So again, another interesting thing to watch here.
Wilson doing about 3 miles an hour faster than our leader right now, towing around in that draft. You could tell that car is sucking up that 18 of Todd Wilson. They come across the line here for 122 to 125. 4 laps to go here at Daytona.
Winner also going to get a Maverick Cup Series hat. Will it be Roger Nebelsak or Todd Wilson taking home the prize here tonight in the first race of the 2023 Maverick Cup Series season? Wilson is now there. Remember the 32 in the middle. 1 lap down, that's Zachary Hall. Hall was one of those championship contenders 1 year ago, as he's now going to get out of line.
Let Wilson take this spot so that he can fight this 23. Great piece of racemanship by the 32 of Zach Hall. And here comes Todd Wilson looking to the outside on the 23. Roger Nebelsak, he has the run. Will Nebelsak defend?
Has the run now on the 23. I don't even know if you want to block anything, really, Ricky. I mean, you're on even footing. It's more going to be about where the 32 goes as they get by the 33 of Viana, with just 3 laps to go here from Daytona.
I don't know, Joe. This is a tough one. I almost want to be in second.
Okay.
I really don't know if I want to be leading with just 2 cars. Especially, it depends on if Hall stays here or if he helps this 18 of Wilson. If it's just between these 2 guys, you see Wilson looking back to that outside. I feel like that's going to be more beneficial to be in that second spot, to get that draft. You can kind of really have the entire racetrack to combat this guy. There's nobody else really around that's going to be racing for position.
If you're Nebelsak in this 23, you don't want to necessarily trail break and back up to this 18, but you want to keep him close. You don't want him to build a big gap as we get 2 to go, where he can get one of those good slingshot runs. Wilson now looking to the outside, down into 1. They'll be side by side for a moment, with 23 still going to pull ahead with the advantage on the bottom. Roger Nebelsak in the 23 with the lead here, coming off of turn 2 for the second to final time.
Todd Wilson to the outside of the 23 of Nebelsak there, and side by side coming down the back straightaway. Wilson going to have the run here because he's in that high line, but Nebelsak going to have the preferred line going into 3 and 4. Going to have a better, more grip down there, I think. Less room, less distance to travel around the track. But Todd Wilson looking to the bottom, looking back to the top. Big slingshot here coming through the tri-oval for 1 lap to go at Daytona.
1 lap to go at the line. Todd Wilson going to get on that right rear quarter. White flag displayed. 1 lap to go from Daytona. Roger Nebelsak with the lead. What will Todd Wilson have to do to get it back here on the final lap? $50 and a hat on the line from Daytona. Nebelsak with controls. Wilson gets in the back bumper and spins him.
Nebelsak goes around. Oh, they're all wrecking. Joe, the 16 is 21 seconds back. Jess Hanna, can Hanna get back here before these guys get back rolling?
It's going to be a drag race.
Roger
Jess Hanna.
Nebelsak is rolling on the bottom. He's moving, Joe. Here comes the 18 and Todd Wilson. They're back up to speed. Jess Hanna coming through turn 2.
This race just got wild on the last lap. Jess Hanna with all the momentum from behind. Nebelsak still getting up to speed in the 23.
Johnson's racing for 4th back here, too. There's a 2-car race for the win here. Right behind these guys are coming up with the 18 and Todd Wilson to the outside.
Roger Nebelsak in the 23. It's going to be a lot of momentum that he's going to have to try to hold off. Here comes Jess Hanna in the 16. Blows by in the 16. Jess Hanna will win the Daytona 500K.
Joe, have you ever?
No, I've never.
That one's a new one. I don't think I've seen that one before.
Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream, share the finish, do all those things. We'll post a short of it because I'm speechless.
Jess Hannah with the upset win. I mean, Hannah's been good all night. That 16 car's been up front. It feels a little unfair to say upset win, but Neville second, Wilson had that in the bag there. And, wow. I mean, there's historical precedent for it, Joe. If you want to say real life.
Antonio's got it in chat.
Yeah, shades of, was it 76, Pearson and Petty? But I don't think I've ever seen that in a sim race.
Jess Hannah burns it down here. Your HVRL Daytona 500 winner.
Big hats off to the 75 team also of Sean Dotson. Kind of was in the back, got into a few incidents, ended up second after all that. Was third in line there behind the 70 trying to race Hannah for the win. Well, Joe, I think it's safe to say Maverick Night in America does not disappoint.
Maverick Night in America is back in a big way, huh?
Back in a big way indeed. Jess Hannah, you gotta think, is just elated right now.
Get a replay of this incident. Heart has to break for Roger in the 23. I think Todd, what you're going to see here is Todd just makes a mistake, right? He tries to make the move too late there on corner exit. Slides across the back bumper of Nebelsack in the 23. I think Todd had a chance here to get through this wreck. Go on board with the 18. Has a chance to get through it, but it looks like he gets off the gas.
Just had a little bit too much mustard on that hot dog. And I think it would have been a little bit. I think Wilson would have gotten through, but Hall got collected by the by Nebelsack there, and that's kind of what did him in. Kind of what did all of them in.
Yeah, I think Todd's also knowing Todd, and I know apologies probably aren't going to be enough to make it up to Roger in the 23, but knowing Todd and knowing that that's definitely not how he probably envisioned that thing finishing, there's probably a little bit of, hey, I'm going to let off the gas to make sure I at least don't finish ahead of him. Obviously, I don't think that means anything if you're the 23.
Yeah. Well, you saw it too. He didn't put up too much of a fight there.
Yeah.
He didn't put too much of a fight there when that pack caught him, which I think was him being courteous about it.
Cool. And I didn't get the export. Did you get the export?
I did not.
Cool. Server just got reset. That's awesome. All right. Well, we'll hopefully get your results. That is amazing. But yeah. Ricky, I don't I am speechless. I am speechless. Here from Daytona. Let's go ahead and start by I don't know, how do you want to... I'm going to bring in... I'm going to go ahead and bring in our race winner tonight, I think, first, right?
I think so. I think that's
right.
A well-deserved first interview.
Do you think you could go ask Ben if he's got the export of the number 16? Jess Hannah. Jess, you got a copy?
I hear you loud and clear.
How big is that horseshoe you got stuck where the sun don't shine? Because I don't know how else to ask you this question. That was something, wasn't it?
I'm shaking. Oh my god! Like I'm watching the space between 1 and 2 and me, and it's 23 seconds. I'm like, they're gonna get it, but I'll finish third, no big deal. And then Irvin, my teammate, he was pushing me, keep me in the draft and all that, and he's like, they're spinning, go, and I see smoke come out of turn 2. I'm like, oh no, let's go.
Obviously you're up there with those guys earlier on in the race, and then some issues happened on pit road. Any was it a speeding? Was it what kind of happened to get you off sequence with those two guys up front?
They tagged me for entering pit road unsafely. I think I was like below that white line, but it didn't do that before. So it was just weird that it happened. And Irvin got a penalty, and I think a couple other guys got penalties with like that too. So they held me for 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, able to rally back after that incident. I have to ask you the question because, I mean, you got a big payday after this one, too. I know winning the race and all in this fashion has to be crazy, but extra little change in your pocket has to feel pretty good, too, right?
Oh, heck yeah. We're going to Buffalo Wild Wings. No,
what's your favorite flavor? What's your flavor?
I like the Parmesan garlic's good. If you want to shoot for spicy, I like the Asian zing, and that Caribbean jerk is pretty good.
Okay. All right. Boneless or bone in?
It depends on the day. I usually do boneless just because I don't like getting my face all dirty and stuff. But I do like bone in as well.
You got me there. You got me. Keith, be quiet. Keith is saying this turned into an ad. This did not turn into an ad, Keith.
Oh, man.
Well, Jess, again, congratulations on the victory here tonight. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. I know it's a big win. I know there's probably a lot going on in your head right now after the unfathomable, very hard for me to say, way that this race ended. Before we let you go, though, again, you know what to do. You got a lot of partners out with this 16 team.
Thank you so much. I first want to thank Ben and Maverick for putting this on. It was a long race. It was a grueling race, but in the end, it was fun and exciting. I want to thank my league, Mondays of Thunder, and my boys over there, Keith, Matt, Mike Carroll, Irvin Vargas, all those guys. My teammates tonight, Mike Carroll and Irvin Vargas, helping me out. Greg Shetner for the nice designs from Pizza Hut. And yeah, it was just a blast. It was a blast.
Well, Jess, again, congratulations on the win. Don't spend that money all at one time, and we'll look forward to hopefully seeing you in more of these races throughout the season.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys.
Jess Hanna, driver of the number 16 Pizza Hut Ford, your race winner here tonight. Let's go ahead and next bring in our second place finisher, driver of the number 75, Sean Dotson. Sean, you got a copy? You're lighting up, but I don't hear you. All right, so some technical difficulties there. Let's go ahead and bring in our third place finisher while we try to get things sorted out with second. Driver the number 23, Roger Nebelsack. Roger, you got a copy?
Yes, I do, Joe. How you doing?
Oh, you sound a little more upbeat than I would be. How are you doing?
I'm not mad about that at all.
Okay.
Todd and I had a conversation, and I told him that, I know it was just a racing deal, and I told him that, I was watching what he was doing, and I tried to back up to him just a little bit, and we made contact and we spun. What I didn't realize was that pack that was coming off of turn 4 was actually the third place car, or else I might have pulled up into the lane.
Might have thrown one of those Joey Logano blocks.
Yeah, I probably would have if I was paying close enough attention. I was still thinking I was in the lead because I thought Todd and I were,
right,
so far gone. I had a chance, I'd be all right. And then I hear the radio go crazy afterwards. I'm like, wait, what happened? And I look at F2 and I was like, oh crap, I finished third.
Well, okay, so obviously it's definitely not the finish you deserved, right? I think you at least deserved second, right?
Yeah, Todd and I both, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously it doesn't sound like there's a lot of anger, but what's the disappointment level like?
Honestly, not a whole lot. And
Okay.
here's why. Because I haven't had a good run or some good runs for a long time with a decent amount of cars. And with what I went through at the beginning of the race,
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that. And it was issue after issue after issue that I was having, because I think with more than 15 cars on the track, I was actually in like the tri-oval area and some places on the back straightaway, it was dropping to like 5 frames a second on my
Right.
frames per second. So I was having a very hard time controlling the car, obviously, and that's why I wanted to stay back. So to rebound that way and lead all those laps and play the strategy, as well as I could, and actually succeeded, because I actually thought Todd was going to save enough that he was going to actually be out in front of me by a couple of seconds, but somehow I managed to get around him, because at the very end there, he was having some guys to draft off of, and I lost about 2 or 3 seconds because I was by myself.
Mhm.
So I really don't have a whole lot to be upset about. I mean, I tore up a race car, really cool looking race car, but you know what? Other than that, it was some good racing, and I had a blast.
Well, great finish for us up here in the booth. Obviously, the disappointment, or I guess not the disappointment, but man, you had to make this interview boring, didn't you, Roger?
Yep.
Couldn't give me any good sound bites. Couldn't, man.
No, not at all. I told you in text, what kind of chaos I can find. I found chaos, didn't I?
You definitely found chaos tonight. Looking back on this race, you mentioned it there briefly, but obviously early on in the race collected in an incident, no fault of your own, of course. When you look back on the resiliency you had tonight, how is that something, because we're going to see you here in a couple of weeks with the end of the TMP and ASRA seasons, how is how are those lessons maybe learned tonight, or at least those lessons that you redid, because I know that you've been in this game for a while. How do you reapplying those lessons tonight? How does that kind of set you up for a championship run over there, and then hopefully for more races over here?
Well, obviously, it adds to the confidence more than anything. I'm probably still going to wind up making some mistakes, and the nice thing is I've got some halfway breaks to screw up over at TMP and make sure I make mistakes in the first half of the race, where tonight I didn't, and I kind of got lucky. But no, it just levels up my confidence that much more going into it, that I've got a chance. I think I've got 3 shots over there, and I know I can still drive hard, and I know I can still drive smart, and I know I can still drive close with people and have good races. So that gives me a little bit more of a fire in my eye. I'm kind of looking at my wallpaper, and I don't know if anybody knows, how many of you guys know the band Skillet, but I'm looking at John Cooper's, and then there's the fire in his eyes right now is kind of what I feel. I'm kind of catching that same vibe. So I'm going to take that and go forward with it. Not only at TMP, but let's see how far down the road I can get here. I wasn't necessarily thinking about adding another league to the schedule. I was thinking about cutting back, actually. So that'll make my decision a little bit harder in the coming days and weeks.
Well, Roger, we're glad to hear that. Always like seeing you out on track. Again, congratulations on the great run here tonight, the third place finish. Before we let you go, though, opportunity. You've been up here numerous times. You know what to do, buddy.
Well, I'd like to thank my wife, Jennifer, for letting me race. She kind of gave me the side eye when I told her I was sim racing the night. She's like, what? And I said, yeah, it's all right. And well, I'd like to thank you guys for coming and broadcasting the race. Ben for putting on the league, and everybody who came in the night had a good run. I really enjoyed running with Todd and who was it, the 21 car, Gary. I was looking forward to running more with him, but he kind of got swept up in an accident there. But want to thank Ski Citrus Soda, who's been a longtime partner of mine, and Also, if there's any fans of ARCA and the old Hickson Motorsports team out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, that car was based off of one of Ron Cox's and Joe Cooksey's cars from back in the early 2000s. So if there's any retro fans, that's a nod to them. So, but yeah, I'm sure there's somebody that I've left out. But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and putting forth the effort to make such a good evening of racing.
Well, Roger, as always, cannot thank you enough for your time. Again, congratulations on the 3rd place run. It looks like you made a couple new fans in chat as well. So, always
Awesome.
great to see for the portfolio of driver number 23 here tonight, but 51 in your hearts, Roger Nebelsack. Roger, again, thanks for your time and congratulations on a great run.
Thank you, Joe. See you guys down the road.
Roger Nebelsack, driver 23, Ski Citrus Machine. Ricky, you got that? We got that tech thing figured out?
Yep, Joe, he's all ready to roll whenever you are.
All right, let's bring him in. Driver of the number 75, Sean Dotson. Sean, you got a copy?
I'm with you.
All right, there we go. That was our fault. Sean, at 2nd place. Where did you come from to finish 2nd? That was my first question.
Well, my whole plan was to just kind of stay out of trouble the whole time and stay out of the melee up front.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of drifted back, got into a secondary draft, and rode around the track until just be there at the end,
Well, there at the end, you get that little, I think it was, a pack of about 2 or 3 with a couple lapped cars in there as well. When you get into the late stage of this race and all of a sudden you hear that there's cars around off of turn number 2, does that up the ante a little bit for you? Do you start trying to find a way to get by that 16? Is it, what's that kind of look like for you behind the wheel?
Well, to be honest, when I was drafting behind the 16, I didn't really see beating them. I just wanted to. I was settled in. I was like, okay, I'm going to finish 4th, and then all of a sudden, whatever happened, and I came up 2nd. So it's just how it worked out.
So, I believe this is our first time talking with you after one of these things. So I always wonder this, and I don't always get the chance to ask it. What's it like to, is there do you feel any extra pressure running one of these broadcast races behind the wheel? Is there like extra pressure to do good? Because throughout the night, I mean, I did a great job in this 75. As you said, you stayed out of trouble, weren't making crazy moves that maybe some other folks out there were, keeping the nose clean. Is there any extra pressure knowing that there's folks watching you guys race behind the wheel?
Well, I think I put pressure on myself not to wreck anyone else's race.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, Daytona's notorious for that. So, yeah, I just wanted to keep myself out of trouble, keep a good straight line, not mess anyone else up and that kind of a thing. But yeah, I put pressure on myself to be respectable out there,
Mm-hmm. Well, I like to hear that. I think everyone should strive to that. Sean, again, congratulations on the 2nd place run. Before we let you go, I believe the car was blank tonight, so maybe not a lot of sponsors to thank, but no, there's a lot of folks that help get you to the track. Wanted to give you the opportunity to do some shout outs here before we let you go.
Oh, well, I want to thank Benjamin for putting us all on and inviting me. That's really what's gotten me to the track, and hanging with me through I had some times where I didn't have a setup to race with, but he stuck with me and kept on me about, getting back out on the track, and I'm really happy to have done that.
Good stuff, Sean. Again, congratulations on the 2nd place run. Can't thank you enough for your time after this one, and we look forward to seeing you out there on the track in the coming weeks.
Thanks, guys.
John Dotson, driver the number 75, your 2nd place finisher here tonight. Well, Ricky, I believe that's going to wrap up our coverage of night 1 of the Maverick Cup Series season. How we feeling?
As Maverick's back, baby. I don't, Joe, I really do not think you can actually top a finish as crazy as that, but that's the beauty of Daytona. It's the first race of the season. We got so many other races coming up. We
Ricky,
could top it. We could definitely top it.
I didn't think anything would ever top what we saw at Phoenix about 11 months ago now. But
You never let your guard down.
You never know. That's why you got to tune in Maverick Night in America every Tuesday night here on JTN. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us here on the JoeTow Network. You can also follow us on our social media at JoeTow Network, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Doing all those things, again, helps support us so much here on JTN. We can't thank you enough for doing those things. Next time we're live is going to be this Thursday night, Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from Lime Rock Park. We'll also be live, again, 1 week from tonight back here at the Maverick Cup Series from Auto Club, which always puts on some great racing. So make sure you stick around for that. Because, again, you never know what's going to happen here on Maverick Night in America. With all that being said, though, folks, again, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for Ricky Collette, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh!